This episode of Gadget Gurus is brought to you by Audible.com, the internet's largest and leading provider of digital audiobooks and audio content. For your free 30-day trial, your free audiobook today, audiblepodcast.com/pbcasttv. I feel like all official with this kind of music. I don't know why. Sounds like I feel like we need to do something like dramatic right now, but we don't really have anything planned. There we go. That was
Hey, welcome to Gadget Gurus. This is J.O. Robert.
As my phone rings, who would be calling me right now?
Who would call you? No, I'm just kidding.
A
Where's my trash can at?
Alright, anyway. So this is
Are
Gadget
you
Gurus.
home yet? Yes, I ate lunch with you. For dinner.
So anyway, this is Gadget Gurus episode 37. We've got a big episode planned because Jacob's got a really awesome gadget to review, and I can kind of hide behind my mic since I switched the camera angle, so you can't really see me, which is awesome.
I want to hide behind my mic.
Yeah. See, my mic is not this big, It's just this huge windscreen that I have on here, which is probably gonna make a bunch of noise when I take it off. But anyway. See, now I can't hide behind it. Anyway, this is awesome. So this is Gadget Gurus episode 37, and I understand that Jacob has a very interesting gadget that he is going to share with us today. And Jacob and I have actually been using it for the better half of today, I guess you could say. And I used it and it was working great. Jacob's been using it for what? I guess how many? 3? Have you done 3? Yeah, 3 already.
Well, this will be day 4.
Yeah, day 4 is going to be coming out
Technically
later.
5 days, because I did that first one. Well, no, yeah.
4.
Technically 5 days.
Right.
Technically.
And you can find all of those. Wait, I don't have this queued up. Hold on. At youtube.com/freaking-huge.
FREAKINHUGE.
Yeah, this is where Jacob's been vlogging, and they're awesome. I mean, that's pretty much the only way that you can,
Describe them.
Yeah, describe them. I think Carlos watched a few.
They're so bad, they're awesome.
No,
That's just the
they're
way
not
it
bad.
goes.
They're not bad at all. But Jacob's going to be... Whoa, I didn't really mean to go to that double box, but that'll work anyway.
Double box.
Oh,
Double
yeah.
box all the way across the sky.
So anyway, Jacob, you want to... As Jacob drinks from his Rude 44. Would you
I always put like 1 lemon in there. You're like...
I'm surprised they don't fill the whole thing up with lemons. That way you don't get near as much drink,
Yeah.
That's usually how they do it today. Carlos says he checks every day when he gets up on his iPad for your videos.
Nice. Why am I speaking and typing at the same time?
So, Jeff, you want to tell us about the camera that you use to make those vlogs?
Yeah. Let me fix my
Headphone
Okay.
onlys.
So, here, let me vlog it while we're doing it, because it'll be funny. Oh, what the monkey? Exit. Cancel. There we go. So this is my Flip Ultra. We're doing a vlog here. And, so, it's got HD video. As you can see, it's recording me right now. But it's pretty cool. Does some pretty sweet stuff. And I got it customized here. So it's got on the website, you can go in there and customize it. And I made this own little customized skin here. It's actually pretty cool. It's like it's like printed on there like with some kind of like little offset print thing, so it's kind of raised. You can actually feel the Podzilla word and all that stuff. But they're like $200 on Flip's website. I think it's like flipvideo.com or something like that.
TheFlip.com.
Yeah, that too. And it's pretty neat. It's got a your standard little tripod adapter whole thing there, HDMI out with a flip port thing for accessories. It's got this little switchblade USB thing on the side.
Hence the name Flip.
Yeah, or something like that. And You plug that in there. You can charge also. It's got this little lock switch down here. So and you slip off the front cover, and that's the little battery that comes with it. But you can also take it out, and there's enough room in there for 3 AAA batteries. So if you're like dead in the water, you can like stop by the whatever and get some AAA batteries. It has really good video. It sits nice in your hand. It's got your standard play button back here, so you can look at your videos, left and right arrows, and then the plus and minus for zooming in and out while you're recording, or volume while you're watching video. It has a trash can delete button. It's pretty good. I opted to turn the light on when it records. That's just an option. But like I said, $200, pretty good deal. You don't really have to break the bank to get HD video up on YouTube now.
So yours was $200 with the customization?
Yes, the customization is free off their website.
That's pretty cool, I'm gonna have to admit.
Yeah.
Really cool.
They also have like a pattern generator and already like done themes if you want like a certain themed thing.
Yeah, because I'm looking here.
Generate like patterns like over there on the right on the 8 GB 2-hour. Which is what mine is. I just want it like 2 hours for some reason. But so 2 hours at 8 GB, you could tell it'd be pretty hefty size files. For 2 hours, 4 gigabytes an hour. So,
dude, well, if you can customize these for free for $200, I mean, why not customize it? Plus free shipping.
Like I'm not going to go to Best Buy paying the same price
without getting it customized
tax, on their website. I think it was like $16. So whatever that is, like 8%, whatever it is, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, why settle for just a plain old flip video when you can go on their website and get it customized? And I put this own picture on here. I designed it up in Photoshop. It's like a close up of some like watch gears and like a circuit board in the back of some random graphics card. And then I put like my little Podzilla logo at the bottom. And yeah.
Wow,
but it's got a really good speaker on the back here to like if I crank it back on here and go in here and like here was part of the video we did. Alright, that's it. Thanks. So I mean, you can hear it pretty well. It picks up audio very well with the mic, and I think it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and just to note, they have had, make sure that you're getting the Ultra HD, the newest version. I think the higher end of the oldest version was like 4 gigs, and then they had a 2 gig. So they've kind of changed that up. They've upped the memory and things. So make sure, I think Jacob's correct. I think you would just go to theflip.com or store.theflip.com and just order from there because, I mean, even if you don't want to upload your own image, which I would probably do, you can also look at their design gallery. Looks like they have a bunch of different patterns. Or, I guess, if you just want black or white, you can get that too. But, hey, why not make your own image? Looks like it's doing 720p at 60 frames per second. As I can see on your YouTube videos, or at least on the web videos, it looks very smooth, I mean, there's no, like, rippling of the video or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it, and all I'm doing off of the, camera is when you plug it into your USB, like, for people that have Windows 7, the, live gallery will pop up and, like, want to import the videos, which I use it because you can integrate, like, Flickr and YouTube and everything and save all those passwords and logins right into live gallery. And like just highlight all your pictures or videos and say upload, and it uploads them all. So what I normally do with my flip camera is it brings them all into whatever the date it was all done in, and then I just highlight them all and say create a video in the Windows Movie Maker whatever, and if I have to cut off a little bit from where I like might have fumbled around with the thing before I started recording or something like that, cut that off. And upload the thing to YouTube just right there, and it uploads. And YouTube has this little problem. I think it might just be YouTube about the HD. It doesn't keep the audio synced if you watch it from the beginning. It gets out of sync, but if you like pause it and start it up again, it starts going. So I don't know. Maybe that's just some weird like thing that's going on like right after I upload them. Maybe it's still processing the video even though it says it's not. I don't know. But yeah, I like it. It's pretty cool. Comes with a little like wrist lanyard thing that you can put on there.
Yeah, and Flip makes a ton of accessories you can use for this thing. You know, they've got like...
They have a magnetic clip-on wide-angle lens. This ring right here is actually metal.
Yeah.
It's a ferrous metal, so it will take a magnet. And you can just snap on a wide-angle lens. And so when you're sitting like this, it looks like it's like way over here. You know. They've
got their own rechargeable power thing that you can use, but that charges from the USB port, right?
Yes. When I plug it in, which I really like the battery on this thing, I turn it on, videotape, turn it back off. I don't sit around. I don't, leave it on and like, oh, what can I record now? I turn it off. It comes on like that. It turns off like that. Put it back in your pocket. Go to whatever you're doing. I mean, you can, it's easy. When I plug it in to transfer my videos, by the time I copy all my videos over and like hit upload to YouTube, the little recording light, which is also the charge indicating light, is already gone off, which means it's already charged, and I can unplug it. I mean, I only do like if you're doing a 2-hour video on here, of course it's going to take a little longer to charge.
Yeah, but
I do like 8-minute videos on here. Okay.
Which I will tell you, Jacob, your T1i and also my KX, it's not gonna last. If you did a 2-hour video, that thing's gonna be dead.
Yeah.
And that's
which I can't do a 2-hour video on my
True.
T1i. I can only do a 20-minute video.
Yeah.
Because they're limited to 4 gig segments.
Yeah.
So that's the other benefit of this thing is, you can record a 2-hour clip, and it won't stop.
Yeah. Looks like they also. This is kind of cool. They have their own little. I don't know if they make this or not, but it's made by Ike Light, I think they're calling it. They've got an underwater housing, which makes it waterproof. So if you're big into like water sports and things, that would be cool to have. You could, record yourself scuba diving or something like that.
Yeah, and this thing also has, like I said, it has the tripod screw hole mount at the bottom, the 1/4 or whatever that standard screw hole is. So you can go in there and I know Tiffin makes like a little Steadicam, which is just like designed for smaller cameras, which they actually make one that's specifically designed for the flip video camera. So I mean, you got a bunch of stuff out there that you can do with this thing. I just like carrying it just because I can stick this in my back pocket and just carry it around. I mean,
it's about the size of a cell phone.
Yeah, I mean, compared to my Evo here, I mean, that's pretty much your size comparison here. Which this has an extended battery on it.
But I mean, it's one of those things you can either, like Jacob said, put it in your pocket, or even just throw it in a bag. Like if you're we would probably grab a couple of those if I go to CES next year. We'll probably just grab a couple of those and use those, even if.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so stinking easy, and you can get like your little one of those $40 LED lights or something off the internet and put it on like a monopod or something if you wanted to. And just carry around the light and have it on its own battery power, which they already are, and then you have these sitting around, and you're going.
Yeah.
It doesn't. This is like the new. I guess you call this is the new professional. It's not professional. It's not professional quality, but it is HD. It looks nice.
Yeah.
You don't have that steadiness, but you get the Steadicam, like I said. And I mean, it doesn't look. Someone's like, oh, they're not as, antagonized by a little tiny like cell phone pointed at them.
Yeah.
This is what everybody's grown to learn, that this is like what it looks like when someone's videotaping something. They know this is going to go on the internet, basically. Yeah. I mean, that's sort of like the mentality of people. When they see a big old camera sitting there at them, they're like, oh, that might go on TV or something. Yeah. But this is going on YouTube. This is like, I don't know, the signature of YouTube videos.
Yeah, it is, especially for vloggers. I think Shay Carl was one of the first guys to use these. They've just really taken off. There's a lot of other people that have these different kinds of camcorders. I know that Kodak makes a couple. Yeah, I mean, it's really the form factor that does the Flip Ultra, but also, I mean, the video quality is almost unrivaled. I know that the older version didn't have near as good as video quality, so there was some, you might could say, well, I might could buy a Kodak and it might have better video quality, but now, I mean, they've really improved the sensors. I think Cisco has actually partnered up with them or either bought them or something, so you know that you've got long-term support there. Does it come with any software? I think I've heard them advertise.
It's all downloadable software off their internet.
Oh, okay.
Literally, you get a box with the Flip video camera in it, and maybe like a little pamphlet to tell you how to turn it on and jump.
Yeah, and it's really easy.
I mean, that's really it. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory how to use it. You hit the power button, hit the red button to record.
Yeah. I'm looking here. It also says that it has, it does H.264 video, which is MP4, I think the file format is, which works with really any video player. It works in iTunes. It works in QuickTime.
And the fact that I can get better, technically I could get better quality video out of this than I can my T1i. I mean, when you think about it, I know the T1i has lenses and stuff. My Canon T1i down here. This thing, it does at 720p, I think it will do 30 frames. At 1080, it can do 1080, but it's only at 15 frames. Okay, this is 720. There's no other setting. It's just 720p at 60 frames.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for internet video. I mean, I think that's great. This would look fine on a TV because now TVs can even display faster than that. So it's I know your eye only sees, they say your eye only sees so many frames per second, but it will notice the blurry,
Yeah.
And I mean, this thing, it looks great when you're videotaping. So
yeah, and the best way to do that, I mean, there's tons of people that use them on YouTube, but the best way, I'll put a link in the video description on our YouTube channel and also on the corresponding post on pbcasttv.com to J-Up's YouTube channel, and you can just watch the videos. I mean, it's excellent quality, and it's just amazing that we're at the point where not only cell phones are so small, but video cameras. I mean, 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, you could not get, of course, you probably couldn't get a 720p video camera 3 or 4 years ago, but if you did, you would have those huge Panasonics or those huge, like a Canon. I mean, this literally looks like, I know that some of you guys are going to say, well, it's not a T2i or whatever, but honestly, I think I heard somebody say this. I think it was Chase Jarvis, which is he's a pro photographer, I guess you could say, but he said, he uses all the best cameras. I mean, he uses, whatever the $2,000, $3,000 Canon cameras. But anyway, he said that the best camera that you can the best possible camera is the one that you always have with you. So that's why he says that he loves the iPhone 4 so much, because it has such a great camera and you can make some amazing shots with something like that. And honestly, I think this could be one of the best video cameras that you could own, because hey, you've even said this before. Carrying your T1i around, it makes great video, but around the show floor at CES, you said, it was just cumbersome, it was just tiring, but...
Oh, yeah, I had my Canon, I think at that time, did I have the T1i or did I have the XSI? I can't remember, but...
Anyway, they're about the same size.
I basically just took pictures, and it was just I know this doesn't take pictures, but I'm just saying, say I was doing video, this thing's going to die probably about the same time that this would, but, it's it's just so much more stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, in-video autofocus. You can only record, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's and then after you get done, you got to bring them in, and they're massive files.
Yeah, they're huge.
You're not going to upload these straight to YouTube unless it's like a 1 minute long clip, and even then, it's still massive.
Yeah.
This thing, I mean, I just tell it to upload. I don't recompress it or anything like that.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about these flips. You know, pretty much it's got that big red button on the back. It's got a little power button on the side. Pretty much you could hand that to anyone, even if they're not tech savvy, and you just say, all right. I mean, you could probably even learn how to operate it without even somebody telling you, even if you didn't know anything about them. I mean, you could just say, oh, look, all right, that records, so hey, guys, I'm doing something right now. I mean, it's just crazy how easy and simple it is.
Like for example, on the Shaytards, like, there's been many of times where he's given his child, one of his children, the camera and said, hey, record this. Yeah. Or like Suntard took it to like his practice or something one time and recorded videos. I mean, it's, kids can use this. It's very easy. You're not having to flip switches and go into menus and settings and all this stuff. The only settings you can get to on this thing is when you turn it on. If you hold the record button down, you can set like the date and like the time, and if this thing turns on and off, and like if it beeps and stuff when you hit record and stuff like that. So I turned off the beep because I don't really like hearing, that just alerts somebody like, oh, what's going on? And then they don't act normal. And I did have the light turned off, but then I was like, well, what if it's not recording? And then I'm like, crap, now I got to do this again. Yeah. So I like the light on because when you have the thing turned away from you to where you can't see the screen, you don't know if it's recording or not. And that way you halfway know. And, whatever.
Yeah, and this is something that, like, I know it would be great for, some first-time parents or something, just having a new kid, because you could just, if your kids do, like, saying their first words or something, you just be like, oh, look, there's the flip, and you go like this, and you hit the button, and it's on, it's ready to go. And I think, some, especially geeks, they'll be like, well, I can't adjust the ISO, I can't adjust the focal range, what's up with that? I mean, you know what? This is not what you're gonna. If you want that, go buy, whatever camera you want. This is. I think that's one of the things. It's just so simplistic. There's nothing you can do to make it, make it mess up. Sometimes I think, like my DSLR has. You can either do like 640 by 480 like VGA resolution. I mean, that could easily be turned on, and then you would be like, what happened to my video content? I mean. It could easily mess up just because of your mistake with the camera, and you can't mess this thing up. You just say, all right, record, and it's got like a plastic body, so I mean, you could probably throw this thing into a bag and not worry about it, and it's got like, doesn't it have like a little raised thing around the lens, so even if you lay it down flat,
the lens is actually covered, but it doesn't actually have like a protection on the lens, but like, I mean. This thing, I'm just saying, like, all the top YouTubers. I mean, this is like documenting video. I mean, you can make home videos and junk with this thing, but like, I mean, this isn't like record stuff, and I mean, you could use it to record stuff and make a project because it's halfway decent video. I mean, it's not bad by any means. I'm pretty much all the top YouTubers use this to put videos up. Minus like Mystery Guitar Man, who uses like a he's always in his studio that he has at his house, so he has like, more up to, professional quality stuff. But I mean, this thing it's great for the portability that it has, just from the size to the, able to carry it around. But yeah, like the raised lens, it has a flat lens that's like, if you leave it on the front of it, it's just like how the problem of my camera was. It lays on the lens, which is like just like a lens cover. It's not the actual lens, of course.
Right.
But so you could scratch that up, and then I don't know if you could replace that or not. But it does come with like a little sleeve that you can put it in. But that's just one more step for me. I'm like, I keep it in my pocket without anything else in it, so yeah, it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Flip's got some other cool things. They've got this flipshare.com. I just came around. You can actually, like, it's kind of like YouTube, but you can just upload directly to their website, and you can kind of, they have their own little community, which, I mean, whatever. But the cool thing about this is a lot of people on the web use it, but it's also cool, just to keep on your hard drive, Yeah. I mean, and I think they're not that big of files, right? I mean, they are pretty big, and they're good quality, but, they're kind of compressed. They're compressed enough where you could store a bunch of, I mean... what I mean? I mean, it's not like 2 gig files for a 5-minute video or something, I mean,
let's see. like on my last vlog, the last file that was a whatever it was, where I was at Walmart. Okay, it's like what is it? Where's it at? 21 megabytes, 21 and a half megabytes for 25 seconds. So you're talking about a megabyte a second,
which is not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about like, I mean, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, and plus when you edit them together, if you're stringing multiple videos like Jacob is together, I mean, how big are you? Like, I know one of your videos was like 8 minutes or 7.5 or something.
They typically, like my last vlog, upload it at about like 350 megabytes.
Yeah, which is...
So an 8-minute clip, 350 megabytes. Yeah, I mean, I know that's kind of like, well, that's kind of weird. But, you know, it's not that big, especially when you don't really have a size limit on YouTube anymore. But, you know.
Yeah.
You're limited to like what? Like the standard YouTuber is limited to like what? 10, 15 gigs? Right?
15 minutes, I think it's 2 gigs or something, maybe.
Oh, 2 gigs? Oh,
yeah.
Never mind. But still, like 2 gigs, if you did 2 gigs, you're not going to hit 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
at 2
I
gigs.
think it's either or. You know, they change. I think they roll it out. They've started to roll out, more than likely, if you're active on YouTube and you haven't committed any like copyright infringements or something. If you haven't
they're giving you unlimited upload.
Yeah, which is awesome. So
yeah, like me and Nick, PBcast has got it.
Yeah.
My channel's got it now.
Yeah.
Which I never really will have to use that, I don't think, unless I just make some like long like movie or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's great for us because you know we do 45 to hour long shows, and that was really the limitation that we had on YouTube, is we couldn't put them on YouTube because, you know, we couldn't do that. But anyway, and I'm gonna like, once I edit down our YouTube videos, like when I make a YouTube video, not like what we do here, but if I do a product unboxing with my DSLR, it's usually around what Jacob was talking about, except it's only like a 3-minute video. Because the file size is so big, and that's even editing it down in Movie Maker or somewhere else, and you know, using somewhat of a compression. I usually don't compress it that much, but you know, using a WMV or whatever. But anyway, it's a great camera for, hey, only $200. I mean, you can get it customized and everything. They make some other they make like a flip. What is that new one called?
Flip Minnow.
Yeah, they got the Flip Minnow HD.
They got the Flip Slide.
Yeah, the Flip Slide, that was it.
Which is it's 16 gigabytes, 4 hours.
Yeah.
So you can go even farther, but it's a little bit more money. It slides out, has like this speaker thing there, so it's more like showing off your videos on the actual thing. So I don't know about that, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if you want to get like, if you're going to be like doing, I guess, like 4 hours of video for whatever reason, you can go in there and do whatever you want. I mean, it's pretty sweet. The Minnow is even smaller.
Right. It's the smallest one in the line, but it's a little bit more expensive, I guess, because, you know.
Yeah, it's smaller in general.
Yeah. But anyway, I think the
Ultra... But it is smaller. It's you know.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty small.
Yeah. One more thing. I mean, wait, what was that? Oh, it has a great speaker on it. Microphone, as a matter of fact, because, you know, a lot of people think, and I think this, because my DSLR, I mean, it has a pretty good, you know, microphone on it, but I'd rather have something, you know, a little bit better. It's always better to have an external audio source, but honestly, for what you're doing on the Flip Ultra, I mean, just listening to it and even listening to Jacob's vlogs, there's not any like artifacts in the audio. There's also not artifacts, you know what I mean, like screeching or anything. You know, occasionally you'll hit like something will be like really high pitched noise or something, and it doesn't come through on the video or whatever. Also, it doesn't pick up that much background noise. You know, it's really condensed to like your voice. I don't know how to explain that, but it really picks up whoever voice is closest to the camera, And
it's like a dynamic little
right
condenser almost, like we were recording like someone at the door and halfway across the room, and you could hear them, but then you get up on it and it's like okay.
Yeah.
So it's like it can adjust. I don't know if it adjusted or not, but
anyway,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great. I'm probably gonna say it's our recommendation for the easiest to use portable HD camera as of now. I mean, with everything innovating and things, there could be another one pretty soon. But right now, I haven't heard any announcements. So if you're looking for an HD camera, Flip Minnow is a very value option because it's
any of the Flip. Really.
Yeah, really, yeah, but
Flip Ultra's the cheapest.
But honestly, I don't think it's not big. It's not big at all. I mean, even though
this is small. They used to be big.
Yeah, they used to be. Big.
I think they used to do it on purpose so that like when they rolled out their Flip Minnow, they were like, "Hey, guess what? We got a smaller one now." But now they're like, well, "We're making them all small."
Yeah.
And now this is nice, and you can tell, like you can feel it, like they're not wasting space.
Yeah.
They got all the space used up, so it's a good solid feel.
It's awesome. So, Jeff, there was one other news story I was going to talk about because I thought it was just interesting because, we've talked about before. I don't know if we talked about this or not, but a lot of people are always like, "Hey, when is the time going to come where computers can actually breach the understanding of humans?" Which is kind of odd because there always has to be a human to write the software to make a computer work, which is kind of at the point where. I mean, it's really maybe computers could never breach, human
well, maybe
understanding.
if like someone that like programmed it was like almost beyond the human comprehension, and then they died, and they left this program to like.
Yeah. Pretty much, I mean, I guess computers could always be faster than the human mind.
Yeah, they could come to the conclusion quicker.
Yeah, it's not that anyway, but.
Yeah.
The reason that we're talking about this is Jeopardy, which I did not even know came on anymore, honestly. I mean, that was a show that was huge in the 90s, and I'm like, wow, is it still on? And Jeopardy's kind of a fun show, especially, I do Scholar Bowl at school, and Scholar Bowl is pretty much like high school Jeopardy competition, so I'm very familiar with Jeopardy. Well, anyway, the reigning all-time Jeopardy champions have finally met their match. This is from internetbits.com. In the form of a supercomputer, Watson, a computer machine the size of 10 refrigerators, developed by IBM, took on the quiz show champions Ken Jennings, which is a Alabama native. Isn't he from Alabama? I'm pretty sure. That's the guy who. I think he's from.
Possibly.
Yeah, sure, maybe. Don't quote us on that. But anyway, and Brad Rutler. Last week, defeating them both by a landslide. Watson had no problems answering a group of questions about female archaeologists and repetitively rang his buzzer before either of his human competitors to give the question, anyway. And it's kind of odd. I don't know if we have a clip here. They don't have a clip on here, but I was listening to one of my favorite Linux podcasts, and they were talking about this because this runs a version of Linux. They were talking about this because it was kind of interesting. They said that you could tell that IBM tried to build a human voice into it, and I think we've gotten to voice recognition and speech to text or whatever to the point where it's almost like a human voice. But they said that you could kind of tell that just for fun they put in like a robot style to it, so it's it was like a calming male voice, but then it had like that digital
artifact
type.
Yeah,
it was just kind of funny. The guys over at Jupiter Broadcasting explained it better, but anyway, it was kind of funny. Let me see if I can get the specs here. I don't think it's on this page, but anyway, he won by over $1,000, which is I'm not quite sure. I think it's like, I guess if you got the highest question, anyway, it's a pretty big victory. I think this is the one. This is an Engadget article. Let me see if they have the specs here. It had like, I'm pretty sure that they said it had 15 terabytes of RAM. which is insane. And it's the size. It actually has like 6 full-size IBM server chassis inside of it. So it's like,
Which, you know, it's really funny.
what is really fun?
Okay, like 50 years ago, you know, my phone, you know, I can't even equate to my phone. I mean, I don't even know what to equate to. I don't even think we really have anything anymore that's the technology they had back then, you know, equivalent. But like 50 years ago, they had something the size of like my house that would do something that like, you know, like a little calculator can do.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, we have something that's the size of 10 refrigerators.
Yep, that was what they said.
That can think faster than we can.
Yep.
Okay? Just imagine what it's going to be, you know, 25 years from now when we have that power sitting on our desktop. I mean, it's going to happen. We know it will.
Yep.
It's just a matter of time because it always happens. It never stops. Everything keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So that 10 refrigerator thing is, oh man, that is so amazing. In like 25 years, 50 years, whatever it's going to be, that's going to be sitting on our desktop or whatever, and it'll be instant stuff. I mean, it's going to be, it's, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Ridiculous.
This is from Wired. I kind of found the specs here. Watson is not. This is what Wired said. It says Watson is not your run-of-the-mill computer. The system is powered by 10 racks of IBM Power 75 servers running Linux. It uses 15 terabytes of RAM, 2,880 processing cores, and can operate at 80 teraflops, which I'm not even sure what that means. I guess that's the data access or whatever. That's 80 trillion operations per second. Watson scans 2 million pages of content in its quote-unquote brain in less than 3 seconds. The system is not connected to the internet, which is that was one of my questions. You know, I mean, I could probably, you know,
this is actual intelligence inside of it.
It's completely self-contained. Here's another picture here.
They said they scanned in 200 million pages of researching content,
which is crazy. And this was also something I thought that they were just going to have it go on there and be like, all right, well, sure, we can make it spit out the information in like on a piece of paper or something, or make it, type it in some, you know what I mean, like send a text text deal. It actually says it, and it actually processes the question like a human. It actually, I mean, that's just crazy.
They just give it the question.
Yeah, I mean, he actually hears what the host says, just like any of the other 2 human contestants would, and then does it, which is crazy. That I didn't, that really gives you an appreciation of how far we've come, because, like Jacob said, I mean, there was computers the size of his house that would not even do the same thing that his phone did. I mean, they had like 2 gig. I swear, I think my dad said this in high school, that they had back when my dad was in high school, he said that, like the size of this room that I'm in right now would have probably been a computer that they would have used at school for some things. Maybe this was when he was in college. Anyway, and he said...
I've seen the picture of the 1 gigabyte hard drive.
That's exactly what I was getting to.
That was like the size of like, a refrigerator almost.
Yeah.
And now you got like 32 gigabytes, or really more than that now, but you got 32 gigabytes like that big.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, if you really understand the concept of memory, 32, billion bytes, which is a transistor and like a little capacitor, 32 billion transistors and capacitors turning on and off in this size, it's ridiculous.
Yep. And honestly, that's why we do shows like this, because some things rarely, some things in the world, I don't want to say evolve, but technology.
It's magic. Yeah. That's all there is to it. It's just magic.
Yeah, it's just magic, and that's why we do it, because from probably this time next week, there'll probably be a faster computer, or there could be a faster computer, which is crazy.
Someone will come out. They're like, "Oh yeah, IBM, you did that." Well, Intel will come out with like, oh well, look at this, we did that on 1 chip. Yeah. What the?
And then we'll cover it on here. So
yeah.
Anyway.
And then the robots will take over the world, and I, for one, welcome our robot overlords. I'm just saying.
Yep. Oh.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So Solitaire wins.
See, Carlos says that he remembers when there was only 128 megabytes of RAM in his computer. I mean, and
Dude,
Carlos,
I remember when I had a 512 megabyte hard drive.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's where I mean, I know, like, my dad would be like, I remember when there wasn't computers.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, shut up. But no, I didn't say that. But yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous in, like, just my lifetime from what I can remember. From, like, 512 megabytes of, not RAM, hard drive space.
Yeah, like your phone probably has 512 megabytes of RAM. It might have 256, but I know that they have 512 megabytes of RAM in phones now. I think the new Atrix had a gig of RAM in the phone, which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't even remember what, like, how much RAM that first computer I had was. It was probably somewhere around the 8 megabyte range. And it's just so funny, like, seeing people, like, just limit themselves. Like, I remember on the screensavers when, like, when Leo Laporte and
Perillo?
what's her face? Kat something or another, the redheaded chick, like, way back when that was original screensavers. They came up on there and they said, "Okay, we went overboard. We went too far. I mean, this thing has, get ready, 512 megabytes of RAM. Why would you need that? Why would you need that? Okay. 100. Now, this was actually a lot. 160 gigabyte hard drive. I mean, you will never fill it up. Never, ever. You're like, this is stupid. I don't even know why we did this. This is too much."
Yeah.
And, like, you know, they were like, "Oh my gosh." And I remember seeing that show when it aired. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. And now that's, like, bad.
Like, why
Like,
would I?
why would you have that computer?
Yeah.
Why?
And yeah, I can pretty much say that I'm sure that one of Leo's editing PCs probably has over 16 gigs of RAM in it now.
Yeah.
So he was probably wrong. But anyway.
But I'm glad that our technology now, we're at the mindset now where we don't limit ourselves.
Yep.
We're not like, oh, well, this is going to be enough. I guess in a way we kind of become, like, greedy on, like, resources, maybe.
I think
But,
you're
like,
right.
I don't know if it's greedy, but, like, you know, we're not sitting here going, well, this is it. This is how fast stuff's going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always going to get faster. I don't think it'll ever stop getting faster.
I don't think it will either. I think even if it doesn't get faster, they'll make it smaller, and then it'll get faster. You know, something will happen where
It always compounds itself down. So, you know, this time 10 years from now, we're going to have, you know, add a 0 to your internet speed, at least.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, I would imagine. I mean, they're already rolling it out now in select cities. It's only a matter of time. I mean, you look at it 10 years ago, you took a 0 off of our internet speed. I mean, that's basically, you know, what it was. So, you know, maybe we'll just take one giant leap and
Like
multiply
tomorrow.
by 1,000 or something. And
I would love to have a 0 on my internet speed by tomorrow. That would suit me. If anyone wants to take care of that. Google, maybe. No. Just kidding.
Hey, I wouldn't mind having a 0.
Yeah, me neither. But
1,500?
yeah. 1,500.
1,500 megs a sec? A gig and a half internet?
That would be awesome. Be like, what happened there? Oh,
I just downloaded the whole internet. Yay!
yeah. So I guess this pretty much does it for this episode of Gadget Gurus. You can always check us out on pbcasttv.com, twitter.com/pbcasttv. You can find Jacob on Twitter, twitter.com/freakinhuge, or by the same name on YouTube, youtube.com/freakinghuge.
FREAKINHUG.
Yeah, exactly. And you can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/thatnickjones. So until next time, wait, hold on. Since I lost my ability to do the fast, I don't know. They've probably rewritten the program by now, but there used to be an interface that you could use on Windows, only on Windows, for Wirecast to be able to use the keyboard shortcut. So I could just hit, I always had Jacob programmed to 1, me programmed to 2, double shot to 3 or whatever, and I could just simply be like, oh, here we are. But now I have to click. So until next time, guys, I'm Nick Jones.
I'm Jacob Roberts.
And we are the Gadget Gurus.
Peace.